agreed to help out with this video for Russ Hatz's retirement. I got nothing. Oh, and I gotta start my Christmas shopping. If I had one wish, it would be one of you four guys would just give me some ideas.
Pete, don't overthink this. Retirement tributes are easy.
If I had two wishes, the second wish would be that this table had $1 billion on it right now just for me. Oh my God. Okay, Mr. President, you say it's easy, but you've got a staff full of writers to help you.
I don't need a writer for simple things like this. Just start like this. Russ, I want to thank you for your 38 years of federal service. Whether you were preserving cultural resources in Oregon or stopping erosion on cornfields in Iowa, you've approached your work with technical expertise and good humor.
That's actually pretty good, Mr. President, but what I need is a theme, something that kind of ties all these ideas together. But thanks for your help.
Oh, and Pete, don't get crazy. You don't need to do any science fiction or Twilight Zone stuff. Just the simple facts about Russ's career.
Twilight Zone? That's a great idea.
No, Pete. No, it's not.
Consider, if you will, a parallel universe exactly like our own, with one exception. The year is 1913, and young Ted Geisel plays in a park in Massachusetts. A slight breeze, a breeze that existed for a brief moment in the parallel universe, but not our own, blows a butterfly past young Ted. One small breeze that changed the path of a butterfly. The first difference between this universe and our own. Rather than seeing the feral cat that was about to come into view, our parallel Ted follows the path of the butterfly until his eyes stop on a young man wearing a beret and sunglasses. In 1913, a man dressed like this was called a sheik. In 1955, when Ted sat down to write his first book, the man he saw was called a beatnik, or perhaps a hepcat. Because of one slight breeze, parallel Ted Geisel, known today as Dr. Seuss, began imagining not the cat in the hat, but the cat called Russ Hatz.
We are celebrating 38 years of a cat called Russ Hatz. So tonight, we're going to Kazakhstan, we're going to London, we're going to the German-Austrian border. But first, we're going to the place where it all started, a tiny club in Portland, Oregon. Let's go.
The cat called Russ Hatz. Fresh out of school, that cat was done. His books were tossed out, he wanted some fun. Hatz said to his fam, there's places to see. This state is too small for a hep cat like me. This cyclone's done gone. That cat had no fear. He got off a plane in a place called Liberia.
Yeah.
The cat sat in a hut. Sat. It was way too hot, and there was no thermostat. Hatz closed down a mill, said follow the law, but Peace Corps, they told him, that's your last hurrah.
The next stop was the Res, a house on the bay. The sharks and the rain kept the others away. The hep cat had hair, it's right there to see, but it didn't last long, that close to the sea. The wind blew it off, his hair never came back, but the cat was still cool, as a matter of fact. I'm not a square, it's no hullabaloo, but note in these photos, that's the first we see Sue. That cat and Sue, and check out that tent. All hipsters know how to save on the rent.
Russ Hatz wasn't just about being a cool hep cat. Russ Hatz was about conservation. So let's see how the message of the cat called Russ Hatz is being spread in the far reaches of the world. Tonight we're going to Kazakhstan. Let's go.
Then Russ went to Iowa and the old SCS. He became a DC, a planner with finesse. The farmers would gather in the coffee shops in town and talk to the cat whenever he came around. The farmers of Iowa had little to say, since the land they lived on was quickly eroding away. So Russ said, we have practice standards to guide what we do. Your land can be quite healthy, quite happy, it's true. And the farmers murmured, well, what can we do here? What news does he present? Does this cat know new ways to reduce sediment?
In Europe today, there are hiking clubs by the hundreds that have memorized the cat called Russ Hatz. They hike around the Alps and they recite the book. Take a listen.
If you have cows or poultry or sheep, if you are not careful, that stuff gets very deep. With good management, we can clean up the peat. With good plant uptake, with shovel, with rake, applied carefully, you will have much cleaner lake. And if you're growing crops and ride your tractor up the hill, you might look to terrace. You might try not to till. It's fun to save the soil. It helps to know how. You can plant cover crops. Don't always plow. Use crop rotation. Be quite agronomic. With some equip funding, it's all economic. This work you will do helps rebuild our nation. And Russ Hatz got into historic preservation.
As 38 years passed, one by one, the cat called Russ Hatz showed us how it's done.
Work hard. Have good humor. Bake the pizza with flair. What is flair?
Your colleagues will long remember that cat with no hair.
One last thing, Pete. Take January off. I'll call McKinney and let him know.